even though you think you're connected to the world because you're seeing images and videos of people in the world, you're not connected to what is around you and how to think about what's around you. And what you end up doing is escaping so often into fantasy that reality no longer looks real. Fantasy starts looking real.
We're talking about deconstruction and deconstructing our faith. And kind of going back to what we were talking about in the first part of this episode is that it really is very attractive to young people to deconstruct their faith. And I think some of it is like, well, it's the cool thing to do. You were talking about how, one of the conditions of deconstructing is that kids want to feel like they fit in. And so maybe that's one of the things, but I want, from your point of view, in your opinion, why do you think it is that it's so attractive to young people today to deconstruct their faith?
Well, when you spend a lot of time avoiding reality, so the technology that we had talked about before is a way of escaping the real. Even though social media seems real, there's very little real about social media.
Right.
And there is something that your brain goes through while you're scrolling. It is no longer connected to this world, even though you think you're connected to the world because you're seeing images and videos of people in the world. You're not connected to what is around you and how to think about what's around you. And what you end up doing is escaping so often into fantasy that reality no longer looks real. Fantasy starts looking real.
Yeah.
So I mean, with all the media we have, you go from watching a movie, and nowadays we're just lucky if they're going to sit there and watch a movie without looking at their phone,
Right.
and then looking at the movie. And then if, don't get me started on video games and the escapism that video games offers that takes you out of the real world. And so you do that long enough and you start to get conditioned that there are these ways to know something. Because I'm telling you, young people feel this, we feel this. There is an uneasiness within us when it comes to our faith. And that's why it is, we ask the Lord to finish your work that you did in me. That means take me to the end, Lord, because it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard because we, if we're honest with ourselves and honest with our children, we have doubts. And those doubts are painful. And what we want is that certainty. And the world says, this is the way you are certain. It's through this. And so there's a way to relieve that stress. If I can be certain about my faith with the terms that the world has given me about how to be certain, then I will be relieved. There are people out there that think I'm an idiot for believing in the Bible. I want relief from that embarrassment by having some way to look at the world and be certain about the world. And I am so tired of fighting my body. Kids today were just like us. We had hormones when we were kids. We had this drive going through us, just like they do.
Yeah.
But what they have is an entire world telling them what to do with that drive. And that drive is the real you. They're not saying, because just to be clear, you and I may have grown up believing something about who we were that also had a drive, that also had desires. Kids today are being taught those desires, those drives in you, that is you. You're not a person that has drives. You are the drive.
Right.
And so once they start believing that, they start thinking, if I change my drive, I'm not me anymore.
Right.
And they need that relief. And so the reason why deconstructionism is so tempting to these kids is the same reason that Eve was tempted by the snake. The snake says, God is holding out on you. Yeah. There is something good out there that he's not letting you have. You take this fruit and you'll have it. That tension is relieved if you take that fruit. And the world is saying the same thing. If you deconstruct, you'll have a more certain understanding of the world. You'll relieve yourself of fighting your body, and you won't be embarrassed anymore. You'll be accepted. Right. And so if you do this, you will be rewarded.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.